Here we go, episode 64, uploaded and coming at you as we are getting oh so close to the big weekend, Kentucky Oaks and Kentucky Derby. Today we're going to focus in on your 14 fillies, running the mile and an eighth for the Kentucky Oaks. Okay, what's the first thing we want to think about here? Two things. One, you have an undefeated filly in good cheer, and I don't know how they're going to beat her. Number two, we got some weather. There's a weather situation coming up. So rain expected from Tuesday through Friday, early morning Friday in Louisville. Now, it's not like persistent like downpours, but just enough, I think, that you'll get to post time on Oaks Day, and the track will probably be listed as wet fast. Maybe good. Wet fast, though. So what that means is you're going to have to look for runners who might move up on the off track. That's what the off track does. It's pretty simple. Either horses absolutely love it or they hate it. And you'll be able to tell by the way they're spinning their wheels trying to get over the off track. I think it's going to be a slightly off track, not like last year. So the beauty of this is you can always go back and get kind of frame of reference. Go back and look at previous runnings of the particular race and see when it had an off track. Last year was a pretty wet track, and Torpedo Anna just went out there and just crushed the field. Just scooting right over and just crushing everybody. She was really impressive. She went really fast. I don't think there's a runner in this field this year that can put up those fractions and win. But there are some interesting runners. So let's take a look at your post positions and get them sorted out from the inside to the outside. So the inside you get Early On, who's a really nice horse who likes to fight sitting off the pace. Simply Joking is intriguing because she only knows one way to go. She's quick, and she's going to go. Fondly, only a couple of starts. I'm not quite sure what kind of runner she is. Drexel Hill's a closer. Quick Kick is a horse that doesn't like to win races. Ballerina Duro has the best closing kick of all the runners. She's a little erratic, and I don't really know if she's going to be ready to go, but she's got a nice closing kick, and if she's ready, she's dangerous, right? Then we get to more speed. Lakara has speed. 5G has speed. Tenma has a great, just nice rating style. She can pretty much do anything. I don't know how strong she'll be in the stretch. Then there's Take Charge Milady, and I've been ignoring her. She used to be my top pick, and then they said she had some little foot abscess, and I was like, yep, we're off, we're done. No horse, when they talk about a horse having an issue with their foot during the week of training, ever works out. It never does. And it may not even be serious, but once you say that to me, I'm not paying attention to your horse anymore. And then you see that big old green check mark next to Good Cheer. She pretty much does whatever she wants, whenever she wants. I don't know how they're going to beat her. Maybe she's tired, right? Then you have Anna's Promise, who's got a little bit of speed. Bless the Broken, who I think is really intriguing because of the jockey and the off-the-pace style that she has. And then Quiet Side is a fighter. This we know, all the way to the outside, right? So the post positions don't really matter in this race, like where you're going to be stacked up. It's really all about how you're going to handle the conditions and how you're going to deal with an undefeated filly, all right? So when we start looking at this race, we're thinking about, I believe there'll be an off track. So now we look, is there a chance that this off track moves one of these runners up? Or is there a chance that the off track completely messes up your undefeated favorite? Well, that's not going to be a problem, I don't think. So what are you looking for? You're looking at your daily racing form, past performances. And in there's all kinds of numbers, right? They do an outstanding job breaking everything down because it's all science. It's all numbers. If you go to the top right-hand corner of any runner's past performances, it'll say wet, synthetic, turf, distance. And all of those particular situations get a number, like a rating number. And the Tomlinson number is what you're looking for in this particular case for the wet track. That takes your pedigree, right? And then they kind of try to figure out exactly how you're going to take to the wet track according to your pedigree, which is all we really care about in horse racing. Pedigree is great until you start to have racing experience. Then the experience will show you exactly what the horse is capable of. The highest you can get for a Tomlinson is 480. That means you are spectacular in that particular area, right? So you're looking for that when you're looking at all of these horses. So then you take that concept and you say, all right, if I'm looking for those numbers, what do they look like with our runners? Well, Here's three runners that I think are really exceptional on the off track. Good Cheer is undefeated and gets a 4:01 on the Tomlinson. And you can go back and look at her performance on the off track. She has one race over the sloppy track, and she's just incredible. She's always incredible, but she just does her thing rather easily. Then there's Bless the Broken. Now, Bless the Broken gets a 385 Tomlinson, which is actually near like middle of the pack here. There are some runners that have much better numbers, but the way she ran on the off track in the Silver Bullet Day, she was behind the lone speed of Simply Joking. If you get lone speed on an off track, you're not catching that horse. So she wasn't able to catch lone speed, but she was making up ground. And if she gets any kind of a setup here, maybe if Good Cheer is just not feeling good, Bless the Broken has the pedigree and the running style to work it out and run them down. But the biggest problem for the field is going to be the filly to the outside, Quiet Side. We've already seen her in the last couple of races. She loves to fight. Gotta like that. And she has a great Tomlinson number for the off track, 4:16. And with that post position to the outside, plus the fact that she likes to fight, she's got some tactical speed, she'll be in the right spot. And she might be the kind of runner where that might make the difference. Maybe. Like if she gets into a fight with Good Cheer, she likes to fight, and she's going to have to fight if she wants to beat Good Cheer. That off-track pedigree in Tomlinson might be the difference. Now, there are other runners in the field that have a little bit higher Tomlinson numbers, but I don't know if combined they're going to be good enough to get the job done. So when you take a look at that, you decide, okay, I think it's going to be an off-track. We've seen everything that these fillies really have to offer. We've seen who can fight and who's got some issues in the stretch. So with that, it's pretty easy to see who I really like in this race. Love Good Cheer. She's so consistent, so good, such an efficient mover. But Bless the Broken is she's got something special in my opinion. And I think Johnny V will put her in the right spot. If she's good enough, she'll be able to win the race. I'm not sure if she is, but I'm going to give her a shot. I'm going to give her a vote of confidence. How about that? That Bless the Broken can stay close and maybe even outduel Good Cheer when they get into the stretch for the Kentucky Oaks. This is on Friday, and I'm predicting there will be a slightly off track. I don't think it's going to be as wet as it was last year, but I think wet enough to make a difference. All right? So that's how we look at the Kentucky Oaks coming your way. Got an undefeated filly, which is always fun to see, but this is a really crazy race, and we'll see how it shakes out in the end. All right. That's going to do it here on episode number 64 on Horse Race Bets. In the meantime, in between time, and until next time, we'll see you here. And until then, good luck and enjoy whatever you're into. We'll start getting into more specific exotic wagers for Friday and Saturday. How do you play the Oaks Derby Double? How are you going to play exotics in the Oaks? Do you want to play a trifecta or superfecta? How do you do that in the Derby? Don't forget about your keys for the exotics, and we'll talk about that next time. We'll see you.